and I have live in the studio Amy Hager.
Hello.
And she is a colours quiz professional, and we're going to learn how you got the idea for a colours quiz in the first place, and what made you actually invent it in the first place. And then how do we make money from this, and how can we translate all these ideas into other people's businesses?
Definitely. And so I can't take credit for building this quiz. So it's actually my business partner who built the quiz, and she has a 25-year background in education and teaching. And she also has a master's in biology. And so she's very much so about testing theories and making sure that it's right and making sure it sticks before you go public. And so how it actually started, though, is she took a call from a potential client who was getting ready to go write a book. And she just didn't want to be locked in this room for a weekend and write a book. She was in tears. And it really got Shannon, who created the quiz, thinking, maybe writing a book isn't for everybody. Maybe presenting on stage isn't for everybody. You know, some people have stage fright. And is there something deeper to the I don't want to write a book, or I don't want to present? And can we find the I want to? And so she really worked on developing our content personality quiz. It's been around for about 8 years now. And we are in iteration 3 now, I think, at this point. And we just did an update over the last year on the questions to get a little bit more clear and to tool it a little more for today's trends and lifestyles and things along those lines. But what the quiz uncovers is the best way for you to market and sell your services. And instead of showing up everywhere and being everywhere, we really believe you can show up on one platform and focus on growing your email list and be successful in business by tapping into this content personality. So when you take the quiz, and if you want to Google content personality quiz to see and play along with us, feel free to Google it. You're going to answer 7 questions. And then you're going to get an email saying what your content personality type is. And I don't know, if you ever remember in high school or even in middle school, looking at the magazines and taking those quizzes and kind of finding out what category you're in.
Yes.
Similar concept, maybe not as juicy as fun as a teenage magazine quiz. But then from there, what we really like to do, and this is where I think any business owner who is utilizing a quiz can learn from our experience, is making sure that your content that you're sending the people after the quiz is tied towards their results. And this is what we're doing in our 3rd iteration of the quiz. We're making sure all of our follow-up messaging is really tied to whether you're a live in-person content personality, written content personality, visual content personality. So if you love drawing hand-drawn graphics, or maybe working in Canva and creating graphics, or Adobe, audio personality, hello, podcasters and radio DJs. And then the last content personality is written. And so our follow-up emails now are really tied to those individual personality types, so that the reader is getting a really bigger benefit from actually taking our quiz, but then they're getting the messaging and the questions to make them realize they really need our help to leverage that content personality to market and sell their services. So then they're signing up for our programs and signing up to work with us. And so I think the first step, though, to be honest, in creating a quiz is coming up with thoughtful questions and making it super easy and quick so that you can just click an answer. Yeah. And you want to make the answers distinctly different, right? So that there's no question about it. There's no toddling back and forth. And I actually did the quiz live last week with Dan, who I know is in your world, and he kind of toggled back and forth, and then he couldn't go back and answer the question. So you want to make sure that when you're offering your quiz, that people are able to select their answers easily, and then the follow-up piece is really targeted in the communication that you're sending to them.
So basically, what are the colors that people can be?
So the colors are tied to personality types. So our video, and we just did the wheel so it's much more colorful. Before, everything was the same color and we were really focused on the individual words. But we noticed when we tied our word with a color, it really made it stand out, and it's so much more digestible with the people. And so the colors per se are just there so that you can easily relate and it jumps out at the page of you. So it's not that, you know, because you're video and video is purple, or because you're live in person and it's pink, that the color necessarily has a ton of meaning. But what the colors do is really help you as the user distinguish and follow the line of, all right, I need to look for the video content personality stuff because I'm video and I know that's purple. So it's more or less helping with our branding colors and really bringing things in to separate in people's minds so they don't get crisscrossed and start reading something that we would suggest a written content personality do when they're live in person.
Yes, but I think I did it last week when you were with Dan. And I love writing, but I love videos at the same time. And I'm thinking, but I really like writing. But I ended up being a video person.
Right. And so the really cool thing about the quiz is you can go in with like preconceived answers of like, oh, I love to write, I'm going to be a writer. But when it really dives down, it dives down to the energy that you bring to the content when you create it. And so even though you may love writing, writing isn't how people read and how people really feel your energy. And a great example of this, to be honest with you, is Shannon, who founded the quiz. Again, teacher, she's written many books. She used to teach blog writing. That's how I originally met her. I hired her to come speak at a conference to teach small business owners how to write blogs. And when she would market her business with her amazing written pieces, it flopped. She got no one wanting to buy. There was no one knocking on the door, and there was no response. And so she needed to go back to her content personality, which is live in person. And I'm telling you, when Shannon teaches, when she gets on a stage, when she does something like this, where there's at least someone to interact with.
Yes.
The
she
energy
comes alive.
The energy is there and people are enrolling and there is no question or doubt in their mind, and they are clicking and just they're able to say yes based off of her showing up in her content personality type. Does she still write for fun? She does. She is currently writing a book, but we know that the writing isn't what should lead our marketing.
That's a cool thing. But you can actually, instead of doing a written one, did you know that there is a tool that you can do the video ones? So for instance, I don't know what one of the questions could be. For example, if a friend's late, do you get anxious, C, go, or D, walk up? There is the tool out there that you do that on video, you know. And
right, and then you can answer the questions.
Can click, and then you can do another video, because I've done those written ones, and you have to do it's quite long-winded to write out.
Yeah,
but
some
you
of
can
them
do
do quite long.
That would be really fun if you did a video one as well.
I think you're on to like our fourth iteration.
Yeah, but I was just talking to you about Buildraw before we got on.
Right.
I just had a little play with it. I haven't built a funnel, but you can actually put a button on. Hey, do you want to learn about Facebook marketing? Yes, no. And I just did a yes, no one. But there's no reason why you can't put 4 buttons on and then
well, and even if it was right, you wanted them to choose a platform. Let's say choose one platform that you feel you're the strongest in. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, House, or whatever it is, TikTok, right? Can you tell I'm not on a lot of those platforms? And that's because we believe one platform is all you need. But I think then that's a great way then to funnel your potential clients into target groups so that you can then start speaking to them in language that they can connect and see value in. And
because
I think that's the whole point of the quiz.
all I know about there's a red, I'm a money orientated person. The yellow is the caring person. The blue is the fun person. So I'm a bit of both. And the green one is the attention to detail and figures person, which goes right over my head. That's the only thing I know about these colours. But yours is completely innovative and completely new. And we know from Tony Robbins that there is like auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, which is touchy feely. So I know that there's 3. So what did you say the word? Is the 4th ones?
So there's 5 content personality types. So there's video, live in person, audio, visual, and written.
So what's the difference between visual and live in person and all the video ones?
Yep. So visual is going to be someone who connects better with utilizing hand-drawn graphics, or even like doing a graphic design program like Canva or Adobe.
Oh, cool.
Lines. A live in-person person is probably going to thrive in a situation like this, right? Even though we're on Zoom or whatever the widget is, right? That we're able to talk and engage and have conversation. A live in person is going to be the person who's going to invite people to a dinner or a coffee and may gather a small group or host a workshop and really show up well there. A video person typically is going to be somebody who explains things very well and very clearly and can do it alone. They can do it on video, maybe with a slideshow presentation type thing, but they don't need that outside energy of people to be able to come and show up true, authentically, and they love it. And then your audio person, similar to video, right? They usually don't need the outside of other people in the room to have conversation with. They're able to really explain really well. And the audio people are typically somebody who gets told quite a bit, I could listen to your voice all day long. So and then written are going to be people who can tap into blogs, tap into, old school news articles, writing for a newspaper or a print magazine or something along those lines. And so when that content is created, leveraging your content personality and that original piece is originally created in your content personality, that's then where you really thrive in marketing and selling your business.
So if you'd love to get this colours quiz after the live, I will be uploading the actual link so you can have a go yourself, because I thought I was written, but on video, and I think on video live because I like the energy and I can get the energy of the person and I can click with them straight away.
Yeah, I totally
get it.
I would say, just like we did, we met T-minus, 25 minutes ago.
No, but I saw you on Dan Ashendorf's live interview the other week, didn't I?
Yes.
And I think I really
like it. I like it. Well, thank you so much for having me on your show and letting me talk about how we've used the content personality quiz to grow our email list and how we kind of use it to follow up with people and make that connection. And if any of you out there want to take the quiz yourself and find out what content personality you are, please do so.
Brilliant. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, hit the notifications button. If you've got any questions for Amy, put them below, because we love to connect with you because we are real people too.